My name is Gina Paulus, and I'm the owner of Homebodies in-Home Fitness Training. I'm very excited to bring you a special workout today. We are going to do a chair stretch and strengthening workout with Mabel Paolino. Hi Mabel, thank you very much for coming. Mabel is 84 years old. She also happens to be my grandmother, so it's a very special treat for me to have her on the show today. Be sure to stay tuned until the end of the show to learn whether or not cutting carbs is really necessary for weight loss. If you want to submit a question to the show, you can feel free to go to Homebodies Fit on Twitter. All right, Mabel, are you ready for the workout today?
Yes, I am.
All right, well, the first one we're going to do is for your arms. So this one is going to help when you feel like those grocery bags get a little bit heavy if you're trying to take them all, up and down into the house. So what I have here for you is just a 1 pound weight, very, very light, okay? Because Mabel hasn't really done strength training, so what we're trying to do is introduce it in a gradual and safe way for her. So I'm gonna have you hold this in your hand, okay? And straighten your arm like this, and then I want you to lift it up and put it back down and lift it up and back down. How many of those do you think you could do?
I have no idea.
She has no idea. Okay, so we're gonna let her keep going and see, and tell me when your arm starts to get a little bit tired. How you doing?
Fine.
Fine. Why don't you switch to your other side? Go ahead and switch arms. Now, a lot of people will have one arm that's a lot weaker than the other, so what we wanna do is try to even out the reps in the strength from one side to the next. How's that feeling?
Fine.
Do you think you could do that move standing up?
Possibly.
Okay, so let's try it. I'm gonna have you stand. And let's see, so the standing variation is a little bit better for your core strength, so let's do the right arm. And down, and other side, and down. Good. All right, show me your other arm. So these are called bicep curls, and like I said, they can be done sitting or standing. They can be done one arm at a time or two. Did you eat your spinach this morning?
No.
Why are you acting so shy on me all of a sudden? You're usually so talkative. She's a little shy, but we're gonna get her through this. All right, so you can actually sit again. The next one we're going to do, we're actually gonna use soup cans, or what these really are is SpaghettiOs. I brought these in because they're my husband's favorite food, so we want to honor him and use his SpaghettiOs for our overhead shoulder press. So you can hold one in each hand. Those are a pound each, so they're a great way to use a little bit of weight when you do your exercise. So we're going to hold them to the shoulders, and you're going to push and drop, and push and drop. There you go. Good job. I'm just going to get behind her, and we're going to try to bring these arms a little bit more back. So go ahead and lower your arms and push and lower and push. Are you a SpaghettiOs fan?
No.
What is your favorite thing to eat for lunch? You can.
Turkey.
What?
Turkey.
You like turkey? Just turkey, just plain old turkey. Huh?
Turkey sandwich.
Turkey sandwiches. And where's your favorite place to go to lunch?
I don't want to.
Tell them. We're in Haverhill, it's okay.
The hospital.
She likes to go to the hospital for, to go to the calf for, and what do you usually get when you go there? Lately.
Well, usually 2 vegetables.
Yes.
I am a vegetable eater.
She's a very healthy eater. Okay, next we're going to do chair squats. So I'm going to show you first. Now this is probably the hardest one on the whole list, I'll be honest with you. So what you do for these is you start standing up and you bend your legs down and then you push yourself back up again, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just like getting up and down that you always do, but you don't get to use your arms to help.
Like this?
Just like that, you're doing great. Yeah?
I feel like I'm a foul.
Yeah, let me just come over and make sure that you're okay. Amazing. So she's 84 years old. She's never tried these before. She's doing awesome. Why doesn't your son take after you?
I have no idea.
All right, that's a good job, Nan. You can sit and rest. So she actually has COPD as well, which can cause her to get a little bit out of breath. But you find that you can basically handle it okay, right? Do you have to do anything special when you get out of breath?
I sit until I have oxygen in case I need it.
Right. And you have oxygen at home too, right? In case you do need it, yeah. So once the doctor said she had COPD, at that point, a lot of people would just decide that they're not going to work out anymore, or they're not going to do things like you do laundry, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of laundry and different.
I go down 15 stairs, up 15 stairs,
down and up the stairs. So the thing is, as long as you just keep pacing yourself, the worst thing you could do is stop doing that, right? Because then you wouldn't be able to do anything, right?
No, right.
And you still drive?
I drive.
Yep.
I shop.
She's almost got her Christmas shopping done, and it's in October right now, so that's kind of freaking me out. But okay, so we're gonna do your legs next, because we want to make sure that those legs look nice and sexy for the gentleman that tried to notice you.
Your shoes will fall off. Can I take them off?
Yeah, take them off.
They'll fall.
So do you know what these are called?
No.
They're ankle weights, and they attach with a Velcro. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap that around there for you. You just stick it on, and now we've got the other one. Okay. All right. How's your knee been feeling? Has it been okay? Mm-hmm. Well, this one is very good to help keep your knee healthy. She had a little bit of a sore knee last year. We're not quite sure what it was, but this exercise is great for strengthening the muscles right around the kneecap. So I'm gonna have you straighten your leg and then put it back down, and again, back down. Is that hard to do? No. Those are 1.5 pound ankle weights. That's a great place to start if you've never done this one. All right, so we'd usually do about 20 of these. We're not gonna make her do that just right today. But you can switch to your other leg, so try your other one. Good. I hear a few cracks and creaks in there. That sometimes works its way out as you go. So no big deal as long as there's no pain. Okay, so those are called leg extensions, and they're great for this area here. A lot of people complain that not only is their knee, they feel weak there, but also the skin around the knee can start to get droopy and saggy. You don't know anything about that though, right?
I don't know.
She doesn't. So she doesn't have any of these issues, but the area around there can get like it loses its tone, and this exercise really works that area, so it's great. So next we're going to do a standing leg curl. So I'm going to have you stand up. Okay. So I'm just going to hold on to you here. What I want you to do is take one of your legs and try to almost kick yourself in the butt with your foot. So go like this. Good.
Hang on.
Yep. Go ahead. 2. Let's do 4 of them on each side. 3, 4. Good. And other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Go ahead and have a seat. So those are called standing leg curls. And those work the back of the leg. So the other one that we just did was working the front, and this one's working the back. The back of the leg is a really important area for strength. It also helps, again, with knee pain, which is one of the most common issues that the elderly population faces. So we're going to work on balance next. Now, balancing is normally considered something that we take for granted when we're a little bit younger, but the older we get and we get out of practice balancing, and we tend to lose that skill. So all we're going to do with this one is just practice balancing on one foot. And I like to have people build up how long they do it. So for her, we're gonna try to get 10 seconds on one leg and then 10 seconds on the other. And it's okay if you come down, we'll just keep counting until she gets there. So for example, I would say balance on the one leg, 1, 2, 3, and then I can't do it. Then you just pick it up and go 4, 5, 6, come down. So she can come down as many times as she needs to accumulate the 10 seconds. And as she gets better at it, then you'll find that you can actually do all 10 seconds without coming down. So we don't need those weights anymore. So let's take those off. So they're so easy to use, even though she's never used them. She just peels them right off there. It's just Velcro. You can get them pretty much at any sporting goods store that you want to shop at. So it's time to stand, okay? Gonna stand up for
I
me?
think the sink came off now.
Oh, it did? Oh, okay. Let's see there. Little technical difficulty. Okay. Stand up. All right. Which leg do you want to start with? You have to pick one to lift up.
This one.
Which one? Go ahead and lift your leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Off balance.
7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Now we're going to do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome job. You can have a seat. How was that?
Good.
Yeah? So now next time you're ready to have to go do the drunk test and walk the line, you think you can pass it?
I think so.
Oh, good. I'm glad that you think so. Okay, so this part of the arm, right? How's that doing there? Do you think that could use a little toning up?
A little.
A little bit? All right. So I'm going to give you this. Okay, so what we're going to do is take the weight and bend it behind your head and then stretch it up in the air. Good. And again, bend it back and stretch it up. Okay. And again. Good. Keep going. We're going to try to get your elbow a little bit closer. Go ahead. Stretch it up. Up. And down. One more time. Okay, and you can switch arms. We'll see which arm is stronger on her. Straighten. And down. And straighten. And down. Good. So 2 more of them. You're doing great. Okay. Nice job. All right, I'll take that from you. So it looks like to me that her right arm is a little bit more flexible, which is common in right-handed people. So it was easier for her to keep her elbow up here, but she did fine with each side. And again, you want to just keep it even, so if you can do only maybe 10 of them on the left side, you want to keep the same number on the right side until you even out with the strength levels on your 2 sides. All right, so the next one's a pretty fun one because we get to use the broom. So this is going to be called standing twist. And this one works your middle.
No.
Is that a good spot? She liked that. She perked up when I said that one. Okay, so you put it on your back like this, and then you want to twist as far as you can one way and the other way. So you can twist, and left and right counts as 1. You go back and forth about 15 times once you've gotten used to it. It can be done seated or standing. I'm actually going to have you try it seated first. Okay, so just like that. Reach behind and try to grab. Can you get it?
Okay.
You know what you want to do is widen your arms. Make your arms wide apart.
Oh.
The wider you go, the easier it'll be. There we go.
Oh.
Now, so go ahead and twist one way, and now twist the other way. Good. Try not to whack me in the face with that thing. Jeez.
Watch out. Ooh.
See, she likes it when the broomstick comes out. You just have to be careful. If you've never done it before, you can get a little bit dizzy going from side to side. So why don't you do 1 more to each side, Nana? And now we can take that out. And just make sure that you don't stand up right away after doing that because you might get a little bit dizzy. But if you feel dizzy, the trick is to just look at a spot on the floor about 4 feet in front of you and stare at it until that feeling goes away before you try to stand up. And that's important for everybody. Whenever you get dizzy, you don't want to make any sudden movements. How did that one feel?
Good.
You want to do that one at home, you think?
Yes, I definitely do.
Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of stretching now. I'm going to show you a side stretch. So you put one hand on your waist, and the other hand goes up and over, and you reach to the side. With a straight arm on the top. That's right. And you should feel this stretching your left, right in here. Do you feel it in there?
Oh, yes.
Yep, go ahead and try a little bit further, a little bit more. There we go. Now you're really going to feel it in that side. You feel it? Okay. All right, other side. Are you glad you don't have to do this with me every single day?
No, I would like to.
You would? We'll have to try to make arrangements for that then. Good. All right, so for the last stretch, I'm going to have you stand up. Okay? What we're going to do here, this is called standing arch back, and it's good to help prevent some of the height drop that you'll see with osteoporosis. Okay.
I have
Have
already.
you gone through a little bit?
Yes.
So how tall do you think you were before?
I was 5 feet.
Yeah.
I'm 4'9".
You're only 4'9"
No,
now.
4'10".
So do you know why that happens?
My bones shrunk.
You're right about that, but the other thing that happens is sometimes the discs between your vertebrae get kind of smushed. This exercise I'm going to show you is going to help lengthen them back so they're more in the place that they should be. So we kind of re-stretch them out here. So you put your hands on your lower back. You push your hips forward and you lean your head back. Now you keep doing that. I'm going to come over here and make sure that you don't tip over on us. She should be fine. I just want to make sure. I've never actually had her try this before. So this one actually stretches out. Feel that? Stretching?
Really?
This one stretches out some of those spaces between the vertebrae so that you can hopefully get even a little bit more of your height that you used to have. So we lost 3 inches, and I don't think she can afford to lose any more. Every time she sees me, she says, Gina, you've grown, you've grown. I said, I'm 33, I don't think I'm growing anymore. All right, that's good. You can have a seat. So we just went through 8 different exercises, and we did 2 stretches. So that is a pretty complete workout from head to toe. How do you feel?
Good, really good.
You feel better than before when you started
Yeah, I
it?
feel energetic.
Yeah? Awesome. So let me 5. Okay. Grab that if you need water. So it is time for us to go over the question, and we actually got a Twitter question this month. I would like to lose weight. Do I have to cut my carbs, or is there another way? So I know my Nana is a big fan of talking about nutrition and food and all this kind of stuff. So I'm sure you've heard people tell you like they're doing low carb. Have you heard anyone say that? Like our Atkins diet, or like kind of like all salads, no bread, all that stuff?
That's no bread.
Do you know people that do the no bread?
Yes, my nephew did.
Did it work for him?
Wonderful.
Yeah. Have you ever tried it?
No, but I think I shall.
Yeah. Well, so it's a very common approach to weight loss, people that try to just cut carbs. It's honestly like the most, it's like almost like the least common denominator way to lose weight. It pretty much always works. However, to say that you're required to cut carbs to lose weight is really not the way it works. So losing weight requires burning more calories than you consume. Period, end of story. One of the ways to do that, to burn more calories than you consume, is obviously to exercise. However, the other way to do it is to reduce the calories in your diet. Now, the easiest way to do that is with carbohydrate reduction, simply because most of our diets does consist of carbohydrate naturally. If you think of all your cereals, your breads, your grains, even then getting into your sugars, all of that is carbohydrate. So if you just cut all of that out, you're obviously going to eat way less calories. However, it is really, really difficult to continue doing that for the long term. And that's the biggest problem that I have with cutting carbs, is that most people are not going to stick with it forever. They're going to fall off the wagon. And I'm sure that you know people that have fallen off the wagon. Mm-hmm. You know, and then what happens is you're right back to where you started. So there's other ways to take fewer calories in. You can cut back on some of your fat intake. You can just make your overall portion sizes smaller. So to just think you have to cut your carbs isn't necessarily true. The other point about carbohydrates is that the calories in them do add up fast. So most people find it easier to reduce calories from carbs than other foods, but I would say tend to reduce. You don't want to eliminate. Like for example, if you were to take a sandwich and get rid of both slices of bread and all you ate was the filling, you can probably do that, but it's almost like you don't think you ate enough, depending.
That's right.
So then you feel like you didn't really have enough to eat. But what if you have just one slice of bread? And they call it open-faced sandwich.
Oh.
And that might be a little more satisfying, right?
It certainly would.
Yeah. So that's a good strategy, is to just reduce the carbohydrate, but don't try to get rid of it altogether. If you have some, pretzels at home, instead of digging into the big family-sized bag, portion out a little, cup-sized serving of it and put the bag away. Because you know what happens when the bag is out, right?
Eat more.
You do. So that's really just the key, is to just think reduce but not eliminate. Now, there's a little bit of a trick to carbohydrates, though. When you eat them, they tend not to shut your appetite off as much as other foods. For example, if you were to try to eat, say, some rotisserie chicken and some vegetables, you'd probably feel pretty full after eating that. Pretty satisfied. A cheeseburger, anything that's like protein and fat. But if you just eat some bread all by itself, or some plain pasta all by itself, or even a bowl of cereal, a lot of times you really don't feel that full from that.
No.
So carbohydrates, they're almost better as a garnish or as a portion of the meal, but not the whole meal. You want to make most of your plate, the meats, the beans, the vegetables, and the fruits, even some nuts and things like that, and oils, but then the carbs, like the rice, the pasta, try to make that a little bit of like a side dish, but not the big main portion of your food. Now, the trick to carbs too is to know how your body tolerates them. We have a large genetic difference on how we tolerate carbs, and a lot of it actually has to do with our heritage. Certain nationalities and places of origin, their body is more attuned to processing carbohydrate than other types. I'm not going to get into all of that today, but what you just need to know is think about how your body responds after a big pasta meal versus how it responds to after having like a nice grilled chicken salad. What type of meal do you personally feel you'd have more energy, or you feel better after eating it? Like as far as physical feeling of energy level, is it the pasta or is it a chicken salad? What do you feel better after you eat? Or does it not matter to you?
It doesn't matter to me.
So she's actually pretty lucky because she doesn't notice. I know that my husband, when he eats a big bowl of pasta, guess what he does?
I don't eat a big bowl of pasta.
Well, guess what my husband does when he eats that?
Oh,
Guess.
I can just imagine.
What do you think? I want you to guess.
He wants more.
He wants more, yes. That is one thing that happens. But the next thing that happens is he falls asleep.
He falls asleep.
And I think you had a husband that did that too.
Yes, I did.
Which he happened to be Italian, so there were a lot of big bowls of pasta. But anyway, we're getting off topic. So for me, honestly, I tend to get a little sleepy on carbs too. So if I do eat them, I try to wait until more the evening so that I have energy during the day to get done what I need to do. If I eat a lot of carbs, I get tired. If I eat protein, I feel good. Now, I know other people that are the opposite. Carbs give them a lot of energy, and that's great. But what you have to do is learn how your body responds to these foods and in what amounts, and try to go towards what your body is telling you. And, sometimes certain days are different. Like, there might be one day that you really crave those carbs, and you should go ahead and have them, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But there's other days where you're gonna want more like the meats and the vegetables.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Like when I have breakfast, if you have eggs and toast and coffee, that's not protein. That's protein, isn't it?
That is actually a good example of a very well-balanced meal. Because it's got fats, it's got protein, and it's got carbs. And I'm very glad you asked that question, because one of the best ways to handle your diet is to try to keep it in balance. Not too much of one food or too much of another. And I think that the average person forgets that a lot. We tend to want to do the extremes. But really, balance is where the answer is.
Well, that's considered a good breakfast.
It is considered a good breakfast.
Good, because that's what I like.
That's what you like. And you were telling me that you heard that breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
I would think it would.
Yeah.
After sleeping all night.
Right.
I think you should be hungry.
Exactly. And you guys, I've gone to school for this. This is my grandmother. They say your grandma is always right. Well, she is definitely right about this. She just said, you're sleeping all night. Of course, breakfast is the most important. That is completely true. And I think people you start to lose common sense when we talk about all this stuff, but really, I think it makes a lot of sense when you think about it. And when in doubt, you should listen to your grandmother. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.